Dwarves, elves. What the heck are these creatures? Are elves tiny little leprechaun-like sprites with pointy hats and pointy shoes that make cookies in a tree or make toys for Santa in the North Pole? Are dwarves short, stocky, bearded guys that walk around talking in Scottish accents all day, throwing battle axes at each other? Well, stay tuned, because I'm going to explain to you exactly what dwarves and elves are. They come from a very ancient shamanic tradition in Europe that has been forgotten for thousands of years. I'm going to explain to you what these beings really are, and more importantly, how you can interact and gain power from them. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Michael William Denny of the ThunderWizard.com YouTube channel. So today I want to talk to you about dwarves, elves, and human beings. And what are the connection that all of these beings have with each other? As it so happens, dwarves and elves and human beings are very intimately connected. And as I said in the beginning, elves are not tiny little sprites with pointy hats that make toys for Santa. The elves are the shining ones. These are the beings who the Buddhists would call the bodhisattvas. They're the ascended masters. These are human beings whom over thousands of lifetimes have achieved a level of spiritual awareness that puts them on the level even above the gods, where they're just on the verge of entering into the void, and they look back before they fuse back into the unity of all of the cosmos, and they look specifically back at human beings and help human beings achieve the status that they have. Now, what about dwarves? Are dwarves little muscular guys that run around with beards and Scottish accents and heave battle axes at each other? No. Dwarves actually are entities that live in the subconscious realm. That is why in all of the myths, dwarves live underground. They live underground because they actually live within us. They are our emotional and psychological patterns. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not minimizing them. They are not simply a symbol. Dwarves have the power to create the universe. In fact, dwarves are so powerful that the four cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, are called dwarves. So they have the power to be guardians of the directions. They have the power to literally create all of existence. What that means is that your subconscious and unconscious minds are creating everything. So if you want to know who created the universe, you did. You did it through your subconscious and your unconscious mind, and you use what we would call dwarves to achieve this. Now, dwarves are very fickle creatures, and they can actually be dangerous. The only thing that brings the dwarves back into alignment is when they have a proper relationship to the elves, the ascended masters. And so in between this dynamic relationship between the elves and the dwarves is human beings, right smack dab in the middle. Now we have three centers within our body that connects us to these three realms. The realm of the elves would be connected to our third eye and our higher self, which is up here. The realm of the dwarves would be connected to my navel. I'm touching my navel center right now. That's where your subconscious and your unconscious minds are. And the realm of humans is here in the heart, which is right in between the two of them. Now, as we've talked about in other videos, these three selves within us communicate in a very specific fashion. Information comes to our higher consciousness from the higher beings. The elves are one of the entities that teach us through our higher self. So this information that comes from the ascended masters to our higher self is then communicated directly to the dwarves that live in our subconscious and our unconscious mind. Now, If we are not in communication with our lower self, which is why, again, things like ritual and meditation and shamanic work is so important, because it connects us to our lower self. If our conscious self, which lives here, our soul, which lives here in our heart, is not in communication with the other two selves, then the dwarves create all kinds of havoc, even to the point of ghost appearances, even to the point of poltergeists. This is actually your dwarf nature going crazy, creating all kinds of chaos based on your unresolved issues. Now, this is a much deeper subject. I don't want to get into that right now. I just want to give you the basis to understand what these beings really are. So, in order to really gain an understanding of that, we also need to fuse our understanding of the 8 directions, or what I call the thunder wheel. And as you can see in this photo here, the ascended masters and the realm of the dwarves are directly connected on a line that goes from the northwest to the southeast. Now, as interesting as all that information is, this is actually a key. I've been telling you that there is a key, a master key that unlocks the universe, and it is the thunder wheel. This is the first and foremost, most important angle in that 8-direction wheel that you need to understand if you want to become a powerful shaman, even if you want to get control over your life. And so in the Master Shamanism class that I teach on the Patreon page, here's the link below. In the Master Shamanism class, I'm going to begin teaching people exactly how they can merge their human nature and get it directly connected to the Ascended Masters, and have the Ascended Masters initiate us into the power of the Thunder Wheel. When that happens, then the dwarves become automatically aligned with our higher self, and then we actually gain power to be able to direct where the dwarves go and what to do. We now have access to the elves and to their knowledge of the universe, to their knowledge of magic, to their knowledge of spiritual enlightenment. And we can use this knowledge combined with the understanding of how to use the thunder wheel in order to create that. So I'm going to be teaching you rituals that you can do and ways that you can connect and communicate with these beings. But the first thing that we're going to be doing in the next class, which I'm going to be uploading in the next couple of days, is how to do rituals to connect and communicate with the elves. So if you haven't already, please go to my Patreon page and check that out. In the meantime, just remember, these beings that the Catholic Church tried to demean in the Middle Ages are still things that we revere today. We watch it in movies, Lord of the Rings movies. We play it in all kinds of online and video games where there's dwarves and elves running around. That's because this knowledge is in our DNA and has been part of our traditional spiritual understanding for tens of thousands of years. So just remember, you have dwarves and you have elves working with you all the time, whether you understand it or not. From our ancient European shamanic understanding, the elves and the dwarves are actually very powerful allies that we can use not only to achieve spiritual enlightenment, but also to control the fabric of the universe. So that's it for now, my friends. I would say, if you like the channel, support it. There's only a couple of days left, and for some reason YouTube is going to take that off. So if you want to support this channel, which I hope you do, then please go to my Patreon site. And there are multiple levels at which you can subscribe on a monthly basis to either get involved in these weekly master shamanism classes, or if you want, just to give a monthly contribution so that I can keep doing this, what I'm doing right now, teaching people valuable and lost spiritual knowledge to as many people as possible for free. That's my goal. Anyway, my friends, thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, comment, and take a look at all the things that I have available to you, especially the books and the DVDs and the other services that I offer. Anyway, that's it for now, my friends. So until next time, remember that the dwarves and the elves are with you, and probably in ways that you haven't even imagined. Talk to you soon.